Hello YouTube friends, I hope you're all well. Thanks for coming back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, well, welcome. My name's Holly and this is my cozy corner of the internet and my attempt to share some of the things in my life that feel, I don't know, significant. They're not always such big deals, but just a way to connect and maybe make a few more friends and share some of my story the way the people that I enjoy watching on YouTube share theirs. So I thought today I would share some comfort movies. I've been really needing comfort in my life, especially these last couple of days as I make this recording, this video. It is January 22nd, and it's the middle of the afternoon right now. It's about an hour before I leave for my 3 o'clock class that I teach. There's yoga classes I teach offsite and classes that I teach here from my own home. So it's about an hour till I'm teaching this afternoon. I'm starting to kind of formulate some ideas for that class, and I'm here to talk to you about what I like to call medicine movies. And these happen to be movies that I have purchased, all used DVDs that I've purchased, some really in the recent past, and some I have had for a year or so now. I had this idea maybe 2 years ago that I wanted to start collecting the movies that I really love, these medicine movies that feed me. I wanted to start collecting the actual DVDs, and I didn't want to rely on being able to find them either online or on TV or whatever. So when a movie pops to my mind that I love, I look it up. I think for the most part, I have found all of these on Thrift Books, which is my go-to site. I buy tons of books on Thrift Books too. Oh, and for those of you who watched past videos, I think I mentioned that one of my goals for the year, or my intention/resolution, was to not buy any books till April. I already blew through that. I didn't make it. And I did say to myself that I think sometimes I need to make resolutions just to have something to rebel against, because these little moments of rebellion kind of scratch an itch inside of me. So I already bought books. I'm trying to remember what prompted the first book buying binge. I didn't buy that many. I think I bought 3 and then 1. So we'll see what's coming in the mail. I don't know. I think I might have a movie coming. But anyway, this one I bought kind of a while ago, and I'm almost positive I bought it on Thrift Books. I think I bought this about a year and a half ago. It's Avenue Montaigne. I'm probably for sure spelling and pronouncing that incorrectly. It's a really, really charming movie. And that's a word I say a lot when I talk about movies that I love, because that's the feeling I like, that charming. I call them story movies. I don't like a lot of blow up, violence, whatever. I like a movie that leaves me feeling like I just put a nice quilt over me. So this movie is a French movie, and it takes place in France, in Paris. And I'll read you on the cover 2 of the quotes. I guess these are movie critics. One's from the New York Times. Stephen Holden says, "This is a delicious Robert Altman-like mosaic." And A.M. Holmes from Vanity Fair says, "A deftly joyful, nuanced comedy." It's a really sweet movie. And in addition to the story being really enjoyable to watch, I love her style. She has this short, choppy, Meg Ryan blonde haircut. It's so cute, and she's really sweet. I love the way she dresses. If I'm not mistaken, she often wears like a mini skirt with tights and boots. It's got a very early 90s vibe to the look, which was in the early 90s. I was in my early 20s. So, that was one of the looks I kind of dipped into more often than not. So I had so much fun watching this, and I really enjoyed watching it again. I originally, if I'm not mistaken, rented this from Blockbuster, but it might have been back in the days when Netflix was still sending you the physical DVDs. But I hadn't watched it since, and I watched it with my husband, and it was a great rewatch. I'm not that great at telling you about the plot lines or the story arc or anything like that. Part of the reason for that is I'm just not great at it. And also, I don't really remember the specific plot lines of movies typically after I see them. I just remember the way they make me feel. I guess probably in like the week or two after I watch them, I remember specifics, but at this point, I really don't. Like, I can remember certain things about the story, but I can't, not really enough to like tell you in any kind of like helpful way. So it centers around Jessica, who's played by Cécile de France, a beautiful young woman from the provinces who comes to Paris and lands a job waiting tables at a chic bistro on fabled Avenue Montaigne, the city's nexus for art, music, theater, and fashion. Jessica's customers include a popular TV actress who is courting a major Hollywood director, played by Sidney Pollack, and he's really in the movie, for her first serious film role, a wealthy art collector who is about to liquidate a lifetime's worth of treasures at auction, and an illustrious classical pianist who is at odds with his manager wife as to where his career is headed. Precisely because Jessica doesn't know how celebrated these people are, her, I don't know how to say this word, guileless, I think it's guileless. Guileless and completely unintimidated engagement in their lives has a transforming effect on them and ultimately her. I super recommend this movie. The next one I got probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I watched on an evening when I was feeling so blue and so dark. And it like true medicine, it shifted me. By the time I finished this movie, I was transformed into a better mood. I didn't feel sad and dark anymore. And I may have already talked about this movie in a previous video, but here's the DVD that I bought, A Little Romance. It's Diane Lane's first movie. It's also with Laurence Olivier. It is, I mean, I can't help but say it again. This is the most charming movie. I am in love with this film, and I've shared it with a couple of people since who also loved it. The last folks that I shared it with, two of my friends, I gave them the DVD to watch. The other friend of mine watched it on YouTube because I found out that the full length movie is on YouTube, so you can find this there too. Um, but the friends I just loaned this DVD to loved it. They were like blown away, and they're like my mom's age, so it's kind of funny that they hadn't seen it either. So I'll read you the description. Dapper old rascal and park bench regular Julius, who's played by Laurence Olivier, wants to make a place in our jumbled world for a little romance. Specifically, he aids and abets Diane Lane and Thelonious Bernard as 13-year-olds in Paris whose genius IQs are no match for the innocent spell of first love. They decide to seal their union with a sunset kiss under Venice's Bridge of Sighs. It's a perfectly impulsive puppy love scheme and a perfect trek for Pied Piper Julius to lead. Gracefully scripted by Alan Burns, who apparently it was a writer for Mary Tyler Moore. Oh my God, I love that show. Overflowing with continental charm under the direction of George Roy Hill, who directed The Sting, apparently, and set to a sublime Oscar-winning score by Georges Delerue. A Little Romance will afford you a lot of pleasure. So sweet. And I'm thinking maybe I can find the soundtrack online. Maybe I could listen to it and evoke all the charm and memory of watching this movie. It's lovely, and I highly recommend it. I just don't think there's anybody that won't like this movie. You might not be like totally charmed the way I am, but you will like it. So give it a try. It is definitely medicine. And this movie I just watched a couple of weeks ago for the first time since I saw it in the theater back in, I think, 1986 is when this came out. Crimes of the Heart with Diane Lane and Jessica Lange and Sissy Spacek. What a fantastic cast. They worked so well together. I love each of them individually. I haven't seen all of their work, but I've seen enough movies of each of theirs, and I have a really special place in my heart for each one of these actresses. So to see them all come together in this really kind of wacky comedy set in the Deep South was just so lovely. And I loaned this DVD to my friends who I loaned A Little Romance to. At the same time, I loaned both of them together. And one of my friends is from, I believe, Louisiana. And she said she lived in a town just like this. And she was really enchanted by the story too. Well, enchanted might not be the right word because it's actually a pretty dark comedy. But what a good film. I totally recommend it. I hadn't seen it since I saw it in the theater. And I remember going with my best friend at the time. And if it was 1986, I was 16. So it was kind of a little bit like of an adult theme for me, but we loved it and we used to quote this movie all the time for years after. So this is nominated for 3 Academy Awards and based on the acclaimed play. 3 eccentric Southern sisters come together for the most unlikely reunion in this tale of family loyalty and the ultimate sibling rivalry. Starring Academy Award winners Diane Keaton, Jessica Lange, and Sissy Spacek, the McGrath girls must confront a stormy past and ultimately find that it is their differences that will bring them together. Sam Shepard's in this movie too. So it's great. I don't know if everybody would like it, but it's really good. I bet most of you would like it. So those are my medicine movies, and I'm focusing on things that feel nourishing and warm to me, especially when I'm not feeling so chipper in the rest of my life. So I would love for you guys in the well, first of all, I love when you guys comment. I don't get a lot, but I've had a few, and it gives me something to bounce this whole experience off of and to feel that I am creating connection here. So please comment with anything you want to share with me, and also let me know what some of your medicine movies are. I would love to know, and if they sound like something I will like, I will watch them myself. I have some books here that I've been reading lately, but I'm going to save that for the next video. I hope everybody's doing really well. Thanks for coming back. If you're here for the first time, please join me. I'm trying to create a really warm experience here. So my name's Holly. It's been a pleasure chatting with you this afternoon. I will see you for the next one. Bye-bye for now.